Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alright, let's dig in. We're in the chapters on Salah of Tirmidhi, and they're highly educational. This is volume 1. Please consider buying this book, well, the series actually, because you don't want to have all your religious knowledge kept online, connected to the electric grid. Okay, chapter 6. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. What has been related about hastening Asr prayer? Urwa narrated from Isha, Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, prayed Asr while the sun was shining in her chamber, and no shadow appeared in her chamber. Sahih. He said, there are narrations on this topic from Anas, Abu Barza, Jabir, and Rafi bin Hadij. He said, it has been related that Rafi also narrated something from the Prophet, peace be upon him, about delaying Asr, but it is not correct. Abu Isa said, the hadith of Aisha is a Hasan Sahih hadith. It is the opinion of some of the people of knowledge among the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, among them Umar, Abdullah bin Masud, Aisha, Anas, and more than one of the Tabi'in, that Asr prayer is to be hastened, and that disliked delaying it. This is also the opinion of Abdullah bin al-Mubarak, Ash-Shafi, Ahmad, and Ishaq. Al-Mubarak, again, is one of my favorite names. Comments. Shadow did not appear may also mean that the sunlight was still inside the room, and the shadow did not reach inside it. Another meaning is the sun was seen on the floor and had not yet gone onto the wall. These both forms express the same purpose. Al-Allah bin Abdur Rahman narrated that he visited Anas bin Malik in his home in Al-Basra after finishing Duhur, and his home was next to the masjid. So he said, stand to pray Asr. He, Al-Allah, said, so we stood to pray. When we were finished, he, Anas, said, I heard Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, saying, that is the prayer of the hypocrite. He sits watching the sun until when it is between the horns of the shaitan, he stands and pecks out 4 units of prayer, not remembering Allah in them but a little. Sahih. Abu Isa said, this hadith is a Hasan Sahih. Comments. A hypocrite prays only to be seen. He has no concern or care for the remembrance of Allah. Therefore, he does not care about delay, whereas a sincere believer, being seriously responsible, performs his duty with full satisfaction and peace at an early time and achieves tranquility. Here we're getting more and more ethics. Chapter 7. What has been related about delaying the Asr prayer? Salman narrated, Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, would hasten Duhur more than you people, while you people hasten Asr more than him. Sahih. Abu Isa said, a hadith similar to this has been related from Ismail bin Ulay, from Ibn Jurayj, from Abi al-Mulaika, from Salama. And I have in my book, Ali bin Hujr informed me from Ishmael bin Ibrahim, from Ibn Jurayj. Sahih. A similar narration is reported by Bashir ibn Muad al-Basri, who said that Ishmael ibn Ulayya narrated to him from Ibn Jurayj. The later chain is more correct. Salama, may Allah be pleased with her, expressed her concerns about those who did not care for the practice of Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, regarding the noon and afternoon prayers. Contrary to the practice of the Prophet, peace be upon him, they would offer Asr afternoon prayer before its time and Duhur prayer, noon prayer, late, whereas the practice of a Muslim should be in accordance with the practice of Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him. Nevertheless, Salama did not mean at all that prayer should be delayed. Chapter 8. What has been related about the time for Maghrib. Salama bin al-Aqwa narrated, Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, prayed Maghrib when the sun had set, and the sun had hidden in the veil of darkness. Sahih. He said, there are narrations on this topic from Jabir, as-Sunabihi, Zayd bin Khalid, Anas, Rafi bin Hadij, Abu Ayyub, Habiba is Abu Sufyan's daughter, Abbas bin Abdullah Muttalib, and Ibn Abbas. The hadith of Al-Abbas has been reported from him in a mawquf form, and it is what is correct. As-Sunabihi did not hear from the Prophet, peace be upon him. He is a companion of Abu Bakr, may Allah be pleased with him. Abu Isa said, the hadith of Salma bin al-Aqwa is a Hasan Sahih hadith. It is the saying of most of the people of knowledge among the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and those after them among the Tabi'in. They chose the view that the Maghrib prayer should be hastened, and they disliked delaying it. Some of the people of knowledge even took the view that there is no time for the Maghrib prayer except one, and they used the hadith of the Prophet, peace be upon him, in which he prayed with Jibreel. Okay, so here let's write Maghrib hastened. Comments. In the opinion of the majority of the scholars, Maghrib sunset prayer has its early time as well as the last time, but offering prayer is preferred only in the early time. Chapter 9. What has been related about the time for the last Isha prayer? Nu'man bin Bashir said, I am the most knowledgeable among the people about the prescribed time of this prayer. Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, would pray it when the moon set on the 3rd of the month. Sahih. Excellent. Learning a lot. Hope you're learning. A similar narration from another chain linking this chain is also reported. Sahih. Abu Isa said, this hadith was related by Hushaym from Abu Bashir, from Habib bin Salim, from An-Nu'man bin Bashir, and he did not mention Bashir bin Thabit in it. The hadith of Abu Awana is the most correct in our view, because Yazid bin Harun reported it from Shuba, from Abu Bashir, and it is similar to the narration of Abu Awana. Comments. Sheikh Ahmad Muhammad Shakir declared both chains as authentic. Chapter 10. What has been related about delaying the last Isha prayer? Abu Hurairah narrated that Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, said, if it were not that it would be a hardship on my ummah, then I would have ordered you to delay Isha until the 3rd of the night, or its half. Sahih. He said, there are narrations on this topic from Jabir bin Samura, Jabir bin Abdullah, Abu Barza, Ibn Abbas, Abu Sa'id al-Hudri, Zayd bin Khalid, and Ibn Umar. Abu Isa said, the hadith of Abu Hurairah is a Hasan Sahih hadith. This is the view that was chosen by most of the people of knowledge among the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, the Tabi'in, and others. They held the view that the Isha prayer should be delayed, and this is the saying of Ahmad and Ishaq. Comments. Delaying Isha night prayer from at least the first third of the night and until the middle of the night as most virtuous. Very interesting. Chapter 11. What has been related about it being disliked to sleep before Isha and to talk during the night after it. Oh yeah, not to talk after it. Yeah, to go to bed for tahajjud or fajr. Abu Barza narrated, the Prophet, peace be upon him, would dislike to sleep before Isha and to talk after it. Sahih. He said, there are narrations on this topic from Aisha, Abdullah bin Masud, and Anas. The hadith of Abu Barza is a Hasan Sahih hadith. Many of the people of knowledge, actually these two pages seem stuck together, sorry fam, dislike sleeping before the Isha prayer and talking after it, while some of them permitted it. Abdullah bin al-Mubarak said, most of the ahadith indicate that it is disliked. And some of them permitted sleeping before the Isha prayer during Ramadan. Oh, interesting. Comments. Sleeping before Isha creates the risk of missing congregational prayer on the preferred time. So the Prophet, peace be upon him, dislikes sleeping before Isha for the purpose of joining Isha with congregation, except if it happens accidentally or due to a causal condition. Chapter 12. What has been related about permitting talk after Isha. Umar bin al-Khattab narrated, Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, would talk during the night with Abu Bakr about matters concerning the Muslims, while I was with them. Da'if. There are narrations on this topic from Abdullah bin Amr, Aus bin Hudayfa, and Imran bin Hussein. Abu Isa said, the hadith of Umar is a Hasan hadith. Al-Hasan bin Ubaidullah reported this hadith in a long story from Ibrahim, from Al-Qama, from a man from Jufi, and it is said that he is Qais or Ibn Qais from Umar, from the Prophet, peace be upon him. The people of knowledge among the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, the Tabi'in, and those after them, differed over talking in the night after Isha. The later prayer, some of them permitted it if it has to do with learning or teaching. Learning or teaching, knowledge, what is required for some needs. Most of the ahadith indicate some permission. It has been related that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, there is no talking in the night except for the praying person or the traveler. MashaAllah. Comments. Imam Bukhari established various chapters about talking and discussion after Isha prayer, which proves that giving advice, admonition, extortion, teaching and learning, talking and socializing with guests between wife and husband is allowed. Oh, okay, I see. MashaAllah. Virtue of performing Salah at the beginning of its prescribed time. Farwa, and she was one of those who gave pledge of the allegiance to the Prophet, peace be upon him, narrated, the Prophet, peace be upon him, was asked, which deed is best? So he said, Salah in the beginning of its time. There you go. Alright, we can do that, right? Inshallah. Excellent, fam. Alright, hope you learned a lot. I know I did. So here, doing your prayers at on time, right? Doing it earlier. Having talks that are beneficial to your faith, right? Very educational. MashaAllah. Alright, we getting far, fam. We're getting far. We're learning.